Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Lock Shed. Keybeard here with a fun video, hopefully. I'm going to show you my way of making a challenge lock. So in this video, I'm going to be turning this into this. How you like that? Hollywood magic right there. Boom. This is the challenge lock. I'm going to be showing you guys how I make it on this video, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'll show you how I make the pins, how I clean. I'm not really going to show how I clean it up and how I just used engraving on with a Dremel tool. But here it is, guys. All right, let's start the show. All right, guys, here we go. So this here is a SKILLMAN mortise lock. I happen to find this on eBay, and I'm going to turn this into a challenge lock. Now, what's the most important thing about your challenge lock? Well, what you name it, of course. And so for mine, since I found this one and had the name SKILLMAN on it, I have the perfect name for it, and I will show you at the end. And so now, what's next? Well, we got to gut it, clean it, make some new pins, maybe change the pinning on this guy. He doesn't have very exciting pinning on this one. And clean it up. There we go. So let's begin. First thing we do, let's take it apart and see what we got going on in here. So we're going to open her up. Remember to keep everything, because we're going to be putting it all back together with just some new pins inside of there. There we go. Let's see here, a follower. Let me grab that key. It's kind of rough, so I'm going to have to clean that up a little bit. There we go. Really dirty, so I do have some cleaning to do. All right, so in here it's just a bunch of standards. Now I'm looking at these pins, and I don't like those pins for challenge locks. They already have that offcut right there, or not offcut, that tapered end. I want a nice flat end for a nice security pin that we can make ourselves. So I'm going to remake these pins instead of reuse these original ones. So we're going to dump all this real quick. There we go. And I'm also going to kind of recut this key a little bit. I mean, we can do a little better than this. It's not going to be the most challenging of challenge locks, but we can see what we can come up with. So I'm going to actually file some of these down. We can't go any higher. But to make it a little bit more challenging, I think I'm going to take number 4 here, go all the way down with it, and maybe number 2, go all the way down with it. And then we'll see if I like that type of bitting. Let me finish gutting it. I lost my tweezers. There we go. I don't think there's anything special in here. There you go. Yeah, it's just a bunch of standards, and which is awesome, because for making a challenge lock, just a bunch of standards that you can modify yourself is going to be very nice. Nice dirty spring. Look at all that dirt coming out of it. I got some cleaning to do on this guy. Well, he's not coming out. So let's just keep on keeping on, I guess. Look at all that dirt. Let me get a pick. I can kind of pick these springs out. There we go. Get them out of there. Look at all that dirt. Matter of fact, I'm just going to, boom. There we go. No need to pick them out one at a time. Let's get that spring out. And that spring out. There we go. Nice and dirty. So these standard pins on top will make great blanks for making your challenge lock pins. Let's get these springs. I'm probably going to replace the springs with some new ones, some, you know, a little bit more springy, maybe even do like different types of springs. Let's take a look at this core. So it's a dirty core, which I'm going to have to clean up. I think I might be able, I think these are plugs. I might be able to knock them out of there. And then I can play with these. I can tap them. So yeah, I might be able to tap those out, and then I can do some fun stuff, like I can thread those. But we'll do that a little bit later. So my first thing is I always want to make sure I have a working key for my challenge lock, and then I can start playing with the pins. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to repin this, and I'm going to recut this key. So let's get a file in and get these recut. Okay, so as I decided, I'm going to be putting a deep cut on 4, and I'm going to kind of deep cut this one too a little bit. So I just have a simple round file. You can get one of these filing kits, and I'm going to lower him down. Just a couple good licks in here. Sounds pretty bad. All right, so I got some good licks in there. I'm gonna drop everything today. So now you can see I got some nice deep cuts on 2 and 4. I do have some cleaning up to do on this other side here. You can see like all that nice little file work, and that's a really easy cleanup. You just grab some simple, like 220 sandpaper, or even higher, a grit. I'm using a 600, I think, and just kind of give it a nice little shine. If you already have, like, if you can find a mortise lock with a blank, that'll even be even better, because you can cut it to any way you want. I'm kind of stuck with, I can only just go as high as these already cut ones, so I can only go lower. And for a challenge lock, if you're looking for a good challenge, it's always good to kind of like do a high and or a low cut to high cut. So you have to, like, you know, kind of either over pick this one, or, you know, kind of thing. So that's always a good deal. There we go. That looks like a nice key. Let's see if it'll still work. There goes my microphone. There we go. So, as long as it still fits in here, and it does nicely, I can now repin it. So repinning it, I'm actually going to not use those old pins. I'm hoping this Baldwin set would work. It's always nice to have a bunch of extra key pins floating around, so you can kind of, you know, pick your own, or, you know, make your own pins. Will these be small enough? Ah, nice. Okay, that was right there. Give me this guy. So I lucked out. My Baldwin set is going to work perfectly. Oops, that's too small. I'm going the wrong way. All right, so there we go. Look at that. So my Baldwin set of pins are going to work perfectly. So let's get it pinned up real quick. All right, I got all my pins picked out. They should be a nice sheen, or a nice right there at the shear line. Do a quick check by grabbing your empty core, your empty Bible, slide it in there and just spin it. If you hear any type of grabbing or clicking, it means one of them is too high for your key. But I think I got mine exactly where I need them, which is going to be perfect. All right, let's pull that guy back out. So we don't need these pins anymore. And we're going to fill them up with these. There we go. Okay. So these are going to be the pins that I'm going to be using to make my challenge lock pins, which we will be throwing them in a Dremel tool and filing. I have a Dremel tool. That's what I normally use. You can also use a drill. But since I have everything to the exact height that I need for the shear line, I'm setting myself right at a good starting point. As long as I don't take anything off the top, I can take things off the sides. These I can do whatever I want with, and I can make my own challenge locks, or my own challenge pins. I'll put the key right there. So we can go from here to, you can either start with these or you can start with the core. You can either keep the core empty like this, or you can put some threading in there, put some counter cuts in there, that kind of stuff. And for this one, I'm going to do some threading. I do like threading in a challenge lock. It does make it a little bit more fun. So let me grab my my threading tool. All right, so I use a nice tap I got. Actually, I think I got this from my dad. You just got to find the size of the hole, the tap right here. Like this one is actually going to be a 32 on a 6. And we're just going to tap whichever ones we want. Now you can tap every single one. You can tap 1, 2, you can, whatever you want to do. I always like to change it up. I usually don't like doing all of them. So I usually change it up and do like, especially if you know, like if you look at your key, which pins are going to be traveling the most when someone's trying to pick it. So for mine, it's going to be 1 and 3 is going to be traveling the most. And then 2, 3. So I'm just going to thread 1 and 3. And when I say traveling the most, I mean the higher they got to pick those. So if it's a short pin like these, it's always good to hitting my own camera here. It's always good to kind of like put those, the threaded ones, because those ones have a better chance of interacting with your threads. So I just did a quick little thread. I can go a little bit deeper. You can only go as far as I just blew a fuse in my house. Hold on a minute. You can only go as far as, as that keyway can go. So sometimes you actually won't be able to thread all the way through, but you can get a good amount of threading in there. There we go, nice and squeaky. And there we go, some nice threading right in there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them here in a second, and we'll go on to the next step. All right, so if you look inside there, I have 2, 4, and 5 threaded, but if you notice, I've actually threaded all 5 of these ones. Part of a challenge lock is also a psychological challenge. So when people look at this, they're going to think I threaded all 5 of them until they get it open. So they're going to think all chambers are threaded, but they're not. See, that's also part of it, psychological warfare. Welfare. Okay, so what is on me? All right, so I think I'm done with this. So I have it set up to where, I got some cleaning to do. Nicely done. So it is a little bit grabby because I have some some shards sticking out of there. So we will clean that up. And one way you can do it is you can grab like a file and just kind of do a quick cleanup like that. Get rid of all those burrs. There we go. Just don't go too deep or nothing like that. Don't make a groove. You're gonna throw everything all off. There we go. Got that cleaned up. Nicely done. Still turns. Still looks good. Okay. So that part is done. Now I'm going to go ahead and start making some pins. I'm going to take it over to my Dremel tool area, and we're going to use some files and cut some of these, and it's going to be really great, really fun, and we're going to see what I come up with. I don't have any plans on what I'm doing. I usually just make these on the fly. I don't draw them out or anything like that. So I'm going to do a quick video of me just filing them, speeding it up, and here we go. Okay, so you can see I've only done the key pins so far. It's always good to kind of stop and like double check to make sure everything's still working and fitting. You don't want to get too far and all of a sudden you realize none of these work anymore. The key doesn't work with it. It's no fun. So let's zoom in on them real quick and show you what I made. So these are my simple security pins, my challenge lock pins. I did like a nice like rounded spool on these two. Those are my deep cuts. Some serrations on these. I got a nice little like T-pin kind of thing going on with this guy. And let's put them back into the lock and see if they're still at the shear line. So we're going to grab this guy. And let's see what we got. So I'm hoping, so inside threaded number 1, those nice sharp, can I get it as a focus like that? No, hold on. Those nice, there we go, those nice sharp cuts right there should grab those. Oh yeah, they do. Sure, should grab those threads. And then I got a nice spool on the deep one, threaded T-pin on 3, a random kind of serrated on 4, and another spool on 5. It's also good to pay attention how much space you have before you put the keys in. Like, so if you notice, well, I have a lot. That one's not all the way down, is it? Let me, where's my... See, if you notice, I think the threads are grabbing it. See how I can push it back down? That's perfect. So that'll be a nice grabby. Look at all that space I have. So when I'm looking at this for the top pins, I'm probably going to do a nice spool on 1, a spool on 3, and then maybe another T-pin on 4 and 5 or something like that. Some serration stuff. You know, kind of fun things. It's also a good idea to keep one of them standard. So when the person first starts out to pick it, it's not going to give it a deep fall set already. It's going to stay at that standard, and it also kind of helps as a gatekeeper as to where, make sure everything works. Where's that key? Yeah, there we go. Let's see how the key goes. Make sure everything is still up the shear line. Oh, real crunchy. It does not want to go in nicely. But it looks like everything is still at shear line. See how, look at that nice T-pin right there? That's going to be nice. Everything's all at the shear line, looking good. Nice grabby pins. All right, let me put these top pins back in, and we'll see if it still works. All right, I got it all back pinned up. It is in lock position. Let's grab the key. Very crunchy from those threads, but a key goes in and it still works beautifully. So that tells me those pins are still the right size and we're good. So that means we are done with those key pins. Now it's off to those top pins. Let me go ahead and pull them all out again. So we'll just zip it all out. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so my key pins are finished. And I'm just going to do this. I did replace the springs just temporarily. I'm using some copper ones from the Baldwin set. I might change them up. I might throw some harder springs in there. We'll find out together because we are building this together as a family. There we go. Where's the rest of them? There we go. And I did manage to lose one of the old ones somewhere. Okay. Now it's on to the top pins. All right, we have the key pins all, or I'm sorry, the top pins all cut. I'll show you what I did here. So starting on chamber 1, I did some serration spooled, just a regular serrated. I did like a kind of like a torpedo with a serrated bottom. You can kind of match that T-pin. Then over here I do have a T-pin with one little serrated cut just for funsies. And this guy here, I'm keeping a standard. He's going to kind of be our little gatekeeper. Let's talk springs. So what I have here so far is just some regular everyday springs. These are just copper ones. You can do so much with different types of springs, different pressures. I do have this guy, which is a really strong spring. I am going to cut him and make a shorter spring, kind of matching the length of one of these guys. I really don't remember where I got this spring from. It came out of something. So let's go ahead and cut him real quick to the length. We'll go by like right there. And right there. Give it a nice little snip. There we go. And we'll replace it on, let's see if I remember, if I look at the key, I kind of want to do a heavy spring on probably a high cut. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it right here on 3, right in the middle. And just for fun, I think that's all I'm going to do for spring changing, to kind of give it like a, again, psychological warfare. You always kind of want to make the picker think twice about what they could have been putting in here, what could have been in here. Maybe there's something better in here, but there's not. That kind of deal. All right, so we're ready to put our challenge lock together. And I've already kind of cleaned up the core. I just did a nice little clean with a wire brush on both ends. So I cleaned this guy nice. You know, I'm trying to keep that old look on it to keep good. And this one is called Do You Have the SKILLMAN? So let's go ahead and pin it up and see if I have a successful challenge lock. And we're going to start, oops. We're going to throw in these pins just like that. 3, 4, and 5. There we go. Oh, so yeah, so I cleaned it up. I put my name on there. It's always very good. It's very helpful to put your name on your challenge locks, because people want to know who made them. You know, they don't want to get like a mystery challenge lock. And then I put a little paint in there, so you can see I got a little paint on my hand from doing that. But I don't know, what do I got here? There we go. There we go. But you know, are you really painting if you don't get it on yourself? Really? All right, let's got these pinned up. Let's make sure I have him keyed up correctly. And that looks correct. Excellent. Okay, that's good. All right, let's throw some pins into this guy. Put our follower down, and I'm going to start here on number 3 with our awesome strong spring. We're going to slide him in. There we go. Get that guy in there. Oh yeah, that is a strong. That might be too strong actually. If it's too strong, the key won't work. So I'm going to trim a little bit more off of there to keep it strong, but not that strong. So let's pull him out. And I'm going to trim a little bit off. Let's say about like 2 notches. Like there. Let's kind of bend him back. There you go. So you like strong springs, but if the spring is too strong for the key to actually lift your pin, well, not really good, is it? All right, let me feel how that one is. Let me get back my, there we go. Okay, I like that. Okay. Copper spring. My serrated pin. Yeah. A little spool with serrations inside of the spool. Flip it to the back. 1, 2, there we go. Get him in there. There we go. And my little Doesn't really want to focus on. I'm probably just making an unfocused video. Anyway, let me bring it up a little bit. Kind of stay away from it a little. That's a little better. Get them in there. Push them down. There we go. And number 5, our friendly standard. Our little gatekeeper. Oops. Come on back. There we go. Get our standard in there. There we go. All right, so hopefully I didn't make that middle spring too strong still, or else I'm going to have to pick it open. And in we go. Lock it up. Let's put that tailpiece back on it. There we go. Up. There we go. Nice, nice. Moment of truth. Is that spring too strong? Oh, in we go. And we're good. We have ourselves a challenge lock. Do you have the skill man? All right. There it is, folks. That is my little video on how I make challenge locks. This is not part of the beard series, which I'm making out of Corbin padlocks. I have one sitting right over there. That guy I'm working on. This is just a nice little video I wanted to make just because I found this lock that said skill man, and I just like, this needs to be a challenge lock name. Do you have the skill man? Yes, very nice. I will make a video of me picking this guy up and open, and then I will send it on its way. All right, man. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to lock in, subscribe to my channel. If you liked this video, please let me know. Please leave some comments, and happy picking, everybody.